First of all, it starts with the application. So when you apply for a vote by mail ballot in McHenry County, we require that you do that in such a way that requires a signature. That's different than many other counties where they will allow you to do it online and fill out a form online. We want to see your signature. We're going to compare your signature to the signature that we have on file. And this prevents maybe a candidate who's aggressive from requesting ballots on somebody's behalf for someone who may not want a ballot. Every delivery of ballots that comes to the election center, whether that's by mail or by dropbox, is logged with the quantity, the source of those ballots, and in the case of ballots from a dropbox, there's a numbered security seal, and that also is logged. No ballot is accepted for tabulation if it is not collected along with its certification envelope. So you hear stories of people having a truckload of ballots show up, and those people shove them in the Dropbox. If you shoved your naked ballot in the Dropbox, we would keep it because we keep literally everything, but it would not be tabulated if it had been estranged from its fully validated and signed certification envelope. So when we get those envelopes, and I brought in a test envelope, this is one that we use for setup and testing and calibration. So this is what might come back in the mail, and it is addressed to P.O. Box 11. So we changed our address from 2200 to P.O. Box 11 to help separate the mail both at the post office and for our mail handlers. It has inside of it, and this outer envelope is generic. We keep it nonetheless because in some cases somebody may put their return address on there, and if there is ever a reason why we had to go back to find this, that would give us a means to do that. This is the certification envelope. You can see you can't see maybe from where you're sitting, but it says test here. So this is very close to what an actual certification envelope has on it. And the things to see are that has a barcode on the front, and that barcode identifies not only the voter, but this particular issuance of this ballot. So let's say, Ms. Van Hoff, you call us and you tell us, my dog literally ate my ballot, and I need a new one. It could happen, it gets hungry. And we will mark this as voided. So maybe if you weren't telling the truth and your dog didn't really eat it, if somebody tried to use this ballot again, it would not be allowed to pass. And then we would actually go back to you, and you and I and the state's attorney would probably be having some sort of conversation. And that's not a joke. We have somebody who tried to vote twice, and we're working through that as we speak. In addition to that, it's got a signature block, and it reminds you to seal your envelope, and then inside you would find the ballot that of course just says Vote Joe on it. But it wouldn't just say that, obviously. But so when this comes to the office, you may have seen the machine that we call Big Al, which is a mail sorting machine, and some of you who came and saw that. We take these and we run this through there, and the first time we run it through there, it takes a picture of the whole front, and then it takes us like a second, crops out that signature block, and it stores that for a moment. It then separates them by township grouping, and it also measures them. Everyone is measured for height, width, and thickness. So if somebody tried to produce a ballot envelope that was not original, if they tried to put something else or something more than a ballot in there, it would be rejected and then examined manually. It also is compared, that barcode again is compared to see if it's been voided or if that voter has voted already, in which case it is also rejected. But if it's not, then it is set aside and put in color-coded bins, and we put that aside and we take that data and we do a couple things. The picture on the front goes to election judges, and every signature is validated by a human being or more than one human being in McHenry County. Some jurisdictions use AI to determine if a signature is real. We use old-fashioned human beings for every signature. A signature cannot be invalidated or challenged, to use the proper terminology, unless 3 people from both parties agree that it is not the right signature, at which point it's set up as challenged, and there is a letter that's being triggered to the voter to allow them to cure that challenge. If that voter has signed up for ballot tracks, they will also get a notification by whatever means that they chose to do so. So they'll probably get that before they get our letter. They'll get that within 24 hours typically. Excuse me. The judges will make their decision and mark their disposition in our system, and they'll do this without ever actually touching the ballot. The ballot is sitting safely somewhere else, and it's been accounted for. So we also are going to send via ballot tracks a signal that says we've received your ballot, and we're basically considering its signature at this point. So the judges give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down. I take that same bunch of ballots, I send it through Big Al again, and in this case, it knows the disposition of the signature verification, and if it's been rejected, it's sorted out into the different rejection types, and if it's been approved, it gets sorted out into township groupings. The rejections are set aside for the voters to cure if they are so inclined, and then the ones that have been approved are set aside in different color-coded bins, whereupon the judges will come back in. They will remove the ballot from inside the certification envelope. They will bunch those into parcels of 25, clip them together, put them in a box. That box will be logged with who counted them, how many are in that box, and they'll be given a numbered seal. Those sealed, numbered boxes go on a rack specially marked for ballots that are ready to be scanned. At some point between now and Election Day, we will scan those ballots into the tabulators. They aren't counted, they are merely scanned, and we store that data until after the close of polls on Election Day. Once that's been done, as they come out of the tabulator, they are again accounted for. They are put in boxes very similar to the same ones in parcels of 25, logged again, sealed again. Those seals also logged, and they will remain there for up to 22 months after the election unless someone is called to open those for a challenge of some sort or that sort of thing. I'm trying to see if I missed anything. I think that's, I mean, without going into a whole 30-minute dissertation in it, that's it in a 1,000, maybe not 1,000 words or less. One of the great things about the new election site and what some of the voters have really found interesting is now that we have glass and you can look and see, and they'll ask me, what are those guys doing? Well, they're looking at the signatures. Those people are running the ballots. These people are doing training, you know, that sort of thing. So that has certainly been literally more transparent.